Thank you for visiting us in Discovery Theater. My name is Aaliyah, and we hope you'll leave here today with having discovered at least one new thing about the amazing animals that inhabit our planet with us. We call them ambassadors because they really do represent the incredible diversity of life here on planet Earth. Now, before we get started, I do have a few safety tips to go over with you all. As you're entering our theater, we ask that you please find a seat quickly and actually remain seated throughout the duration of the show. We will have some birds in flight later on. And if you need to leave our theater at any moment, we ask that you please exit up and out the aisleways, keeping our front moatway clear, as we will have ambassadors joining us down below. Now, with that being said, are you guys ready to meet our first ambassadors? Perfect, because I think they're just about ready to meet you. Now, joining us first, there goes Apollo, our hyacinth macaw, followed by Callie, our military macaw, and last but not least, there goes Gracie, our scarlet macaw. Now, macaws can be found all throughout the rainforests of Central and South America, and they have a diet that consists of fruits and veggies, as well as seeds and nuts. And in their beaks there, they have an incredible bite pressure, which allows them to crack open the shells of those nuts right in half. Now, parrots are what's called zygodactyl, and what that means is that their feet are specially designed with 2 toes in front and 2 toes in back. Now, those specialized feet allow them to climb quickly and easily up into the tops of trees. And they can sometimes use their beaks there, sort of like a 3rd foot to help them climb. Now, unfortunately, parrots are endangered due to the pet trade and other types of deforestation. Now, you may also notice that our parrots are very brightly colored, and that might not seem like the right kind of camouflage. However, those bright colors allow them to blend in with new leaves as well as different types of fruits and flowers. All right, so how about a round of applause for our macaws? Now, our next ambassador will be joining us out from the right-hand side of the stage over here, and he's going to be the most interesting bird you've never met. Unless, of course, you've been to Africa or you've seen our show here before. This is Max. Now, we named Max after Max Factor, the famous Hollywood makeup artist, because of his long, beautiful eyelashes. But Max is actually a southern brown hornbill. Now, as that name implies, these birds do spend a majority of their lives on the ground. And as you can see, that hornbill speaks for itself. He has no problems picking up and tossing back those bits of meat we throw down for him. All right, so how about a round of applause for Max, our southern brown hornbill. Now, our next ambassador is the 2nd largest rodent in all of North America, second only to the beaver. Now, does anyone have any guesses as to what our next ambassador might be? I'm hearing it. Maybe you guys have some good guesses. Keep calling them out. Maybe, I don't know, we'll see. He'll be joining us real soon out from your left-hand side over here. Let's see if anyone was right. I think he's coming. All right, now if anyone said porcupine, you were correct. This is Quilson. Quilson is a North American porcupine, and as I said before, porcupines are the second largest rodent in all of North America. Now, some of you may be able to tell easier based off of where you're sitting, but Quilson here is covered in 30,000 sharp quills. Now, contrary to popular belief, porcupines cannot actually shoot or spray those quills. They're just modified hairs that are loosely attached. Now, these hairs are specially designed with a barbed tip, which makes the going-in process very easy and the coming-out process very difficult. Now, if a predator were to try to eat Quilson, instead of getting a tasty treat, they'd get a noseful or a pawful of those sharp quills, and Quilson would just waddle away unharmed. All right, how about a round of applause for Quilson, our North American porcupine. Now I'm going to ask everyone to please remain seated. You all are doing a wonderful job. Thank you very much. All right, now in just a few moments, I would like to direct your attention to the upper left-hand corner of our stadium, where we will have Lautrec, our turkey vulture, make his way down. Now, turkey vultures can be easily identified by their V-shaped wingspan, as well as the grayish coloration under their wings. A group of turkey vultures is actually called a kettle, and out in the wild you can frequently see kettles of these birds gliding around on thermals, which means they get to flap their wings infrequently. Now, turkey vultures do have an incredible sense of smell. They can in fact smell their next meal before they even see it. And that bald head does not absorb all the gooey goodness that feathers would when digging into a carcass, and then once they're done eating, they'll sit out in the sun and let Mother Nature bake off all those leftovers. Now, I think he might smell lunch backstage, so let's hear it for the Trek, our turkey vulture. Now, our next ambassador will be joining us out from the left-hand side of the stage here. And you guys are going to be getting the chance to meet Wyatt, and Wyatt is our timber wolf. Now, timber wolves are actually just a subspecies of the gray wolf. There are about 5 different subspecies. Here at Discovery Kingdom, we have 2. We have our Arctic wolf, as well as our timber wolf, Wyatt. Now, wolves are very social animals. Out in the wild, they tend to live in groups or packs of about 10 to 15 different individual wolves. Now, he might look pretty similar to your household dog. However, it's important to remember that Wyatt is not domesticated or tame. He's a very wild animal. In fact, wolves have an incredible bite pressure of about 15 pounds per square inch in their jaws there. So they're very, very strong animals, and definitely not to be considered pets. Now, we are still getting Wyatt acclimated to doing a routine on stage in front of an audience. I think he's done an excellent job. Let's hear it for Wyatt, our timber wolf. Now, of course, working with animals can be incredibly rewarding, but don't take my word for it. Here we have animal care specialist Angela with one of our animal ambassadors to show you all just how true that can be.
That's right. Well, helping us out with that will actually be the littlest member of our show. So his name is Basil Bob, and he is a Patagonian conure. Now, he's a type of parrot, so just like those other parrots you guys saw earlier, he's a little bit smaller. He's still pretty cute, though. But while we're waiting for him, I'm going to go ahead and tell you that we will need the help of a brave volunteer for this next behavior. But I got a few requirements. 1, you have to be an adult. So sorry, kiddos, I do need an adult. I need an adult with a dollar bill or some form of cash. Really, I'm not picky. And I need an adult with a dollar bill. Ooh, hey, Bob, who's really excited. Ooh, how about you in a black tank top? All right, you're gonna actually come. Ooh, yeah, all your friends gonna give you the money. Oh, that's your bag. Okay, my apologies. I dare not assume. All right, so you can go ahead and do that stairwell for me. Right there is perfect. What's your name? Angelica? All right, let's go ahead and see that dollar bill you got there. Hold it out. Excellent, it's real. We only do accept real money. What you're gonna do is fold that dollar bill in half. Perfect, then you're gonna fold it in half again. Then you're gonna fold it in half one more time and make a square out of it. A square, Angelica? I don't know which way you're going there. All right, excellent. So hold that dollar bill straight up to the side for me, just like this. Now you're not afraid of birds, right? It's okay! Angelica, I need you to be okay with this. Are you okay with it? All right, because Bob's going to go ahead and pick up that dollar. Oh, no! All right, well, are you going to be able to do it? Otherwise, I'll have somebody else do it. All right. Ooh! Someone's already trying to take your spot. Okay, ready? Hold still. Don't drop it. All right, Bob, pick it up. Pick it up. I know it's okay. Pick it up. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and try it one more time. I'll have you take a couple steps down. Unfortunately, you might have earned the Trojan Bob. Alright, Bob, ready? Bob, pick it up! Pick it up, Bob! Come on, you can do it! Good job, Bob! Excellent! Come on back! Good job! Alright, Angelica. Well, you may have a seat. I'm going to hang on to this. Collateral damage here. Alright. Well, since that went so well, let's try it on this side, but with a 20. Oh, I mean, this guy over there's up on his phone. He looks like he's bored over here. But Angelica, you probably would like your dollar back, right? It's okay. Well, Bob's got to do the right thing and bring it back. Okay, so what you're going to do is put that arm out. And your other arm too. Now, Angelica, it's your turn to fly down here and get it. Go! Or walk, that's cool. Either way. Excellent job, but you know what? I'm just kidding. I will make Bob take it back to you. Go ahead, go right back up one more time for me. All right, and go ahead and hold that arm out, palm flat towards the sky. Again, hold nice and still, and Bob's gonna do the right thing. Hey, can you hold it? I know, you gotta take it back to her. It's Bob, hold it. There you go, and drop it off. Drop it off. Go. Excellent work, Bob. Good job, and come on back. Oh, he decided to leave you a little party gift. Come on, Bob. Come on. Good job. Well, thank you very much. How about a hand for our brave volunteer and for Basil Bob?
Looks like he's gonna try to steal the show there. All right, everyone say bye, Bob.
Bye, Bob.
Now, our next ambassador is an animal that some of you may have seen roaming around your neighborhood at night. Now, he's not necessarily the kind of animal that you really want to startle in the wild. Joining us on the right-hand side of the stage over here is going to be Jet, our striped skunk. Now, skunks are commonly thought of as nightly pests, but that's just because people don't realize how helpful they can be. Skunks are actually omnivores, which means they'll eat anything from old fruits and veggies to insects like cockroaches that you definitely wouldn't want roaming around your house. All right, now as he stayed true to his name and jetted off stage, let's hear it for Jet, our striped skunk. Now our next ambassador will be joining us out from the left-hand side of the stage. These guys can be found from Arizona all the way down to Argentina. This is Maya, and Maya is our white-nosed Coati. Now, if she looks pretty familiar, that's because Coatis are actually related to raccoons. However, these guys are the only members of the raccoon family that are diurnal, which basically means awake during the day and asleep at night, just like you and me. Now, Coatis are very agile climbers. Their long striped tails there allow them to balance very easily up in the tops of trees, and they also have the ability to rotate their ankles, and that allows them to climb head first, both up and down trees. Now, Coatis, just like Jet, our striped skunk, are also omnivores, so again, that means they'll eat anything from fruits and veggies to different types of meat. And for Coatis, that can even include scorpions and tarantulas. Now, their long snouts and powerful sharp front claws are perfect for allowing them to sniff out and dig up their prey. Females and their young tend to live in large groups called bands, and males are typically more solitary. Well, she's giving you guys a little wave goodbye. How about a round of applause for Maya, our white-nosed Coati? Now, our next ambassador likes to spend just as much time up in the trees as our birds do, but if we waited for her to come out on her own, without the aid of one of our animal care specialists, we would all be waiting here for a very, very long time. This is Chewy, and Chewy is our two-toed sloth, pretty similar to the animated sloth Flash from the movie Zootopia. Now, sloths are what's called folivores, and that means they eat primarily leaves, and those leaves can actually take up to a month to digest. A sloth's metabolism is so slow that they only need to go to the bathroom once a week. Now, sloths, as I mentioned, are famously slow movers, so slow in fact that out in the wild a lot of natural mosses and algae can grow right into their fur, creating a perfect little ecosystem for different types of small moths and beetles. But that's not a problem for these guys, as it does also provide the perfect camouflage. Now, I think Chewy is going to show off her fantastic camouflage for you all now and disappear. Let's hear it for Chewy, our two-toed sloth. Now, unfortunately, it is time for you all to meet our last ambassador, but we do have a special treat for you today. In just a few moments, you're going to be meeting Trooper, and Trooper is our African serval. Now, servals are a medium-sized cat that can be found throughout the grasslands and wetlands of Africa. And you'll notice he has that beautiful coat on him there. In fact, servals are the only cats that are covered in both stripes and spots. Speaking of spots, those white and black spots on the back of Trooper's ears there are called eye spots, and they have two main uses out in the wild. First off, they allow females to guide their young through the tall African grass without getting lost. And they also confuse other predators into thinking they're stalking a much larger animal. Now, servals have incredibly long legs, and as you can see, that enables them to run very, very fast. Those long legs also allow them to dig deep down into burrows to snatch out a tasty treat. Now, servals are carnivores, which means they eat different types of meat from other small mammals and rodents to birds and even reptiles. Now, those long legs also allow these cats to jump very high, in fact, up to 6 feet in the air, where they can catch a bird right out of the sky. Servals are incredibly successful hunters. They do tend to have a success rate of about 50%, whereas if you compare that to other wild cats that only have a success rate of about 4%. Now, what Trooper is doing here is typical cat behavior. Once they've caught their prey, they'll take it down into a bush or into a burrow, where they will play around with it for a little bit before they decide to dig in. Now, I would like to take a moment to talk about conservation with you all. According to the International Union for the Conservation of Nature, there are over 2,600 animals on the endangered species list. If you compare that to just over 800 in 1998, you can see that we have a rapidly growing problem. That's why here at Discovery Kingdom, we like to encourage you all to go out and do your research and figure out what you can do to aid in conservation and keep amazing animals like Trooper here around for many years. Now, our show may be over, but your adventure is not. In just a few moments, our animal care specialists would like to invite you down to the moat. They love talking to you about our animal ambassadors and answering any questions that you may have about conservation. Also, if you exit out the back of our stadium right over here, one of our animal care specialists is going to be selling some art that has been painted by our animal ambassadors. Now, we do accept cash or credit, and all proceeds go back to animal enrichment and animal care specialist education. We hope you all enjoy the rest of your day here at Six Flags Discovery Kingdom. So long, everyone.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Captain Lee, Chief Explorer for Six Flags Discovery Kingdom. We hope you enjoyed the show. Please check around to see for all personal belongings. Please note, we have trash receptacles located throughout the stadium. And please, take a brief moment to deposit the recyclables in the nearest recycling container. Thank you, and enjoy the rest of your adventure here at Six Flags Discovery Kingdom. Wildlife, wild rides.